All right. Hey, buds. Back. It is Wednesday. Mixing up my days of the week, but yes, it is Wednesday. We're going to be doing some Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. I actually do plan on finishing the game tonight. If I finish it this morning, I don't think will happen, but definitely tonight. I'm going to, even if it's not quite at the point where I'm going to finish, I'm going to push to finish it tonight, you know? But, yeah. If I finish it this morning, this goes for Ion Fury as well. If I finish either of them in the morning, and my evening stream is just going to be replaced by the game I intended to play after them, which will be a surprise for everyone, including myself. Yes. But, but yeah, yes, Emmy, it is audiobook time. I hope you're ready. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it pulled up. I need to make sure where I put my camera. I'm pretty sure I put it in top right. Yeah, top right. Okay. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll pull the game up. What does that even mean, including yourself? Well, I have 4 games that I want to play when I finish the games I'm currently playing, but I don't know which game will replace whatever game I'm playing, you know what I mean? Oh, Mike! I like that hype. I like that hype a lot. Doing it with the Paper Mario font, that's very nice touch. Alright, let's start the game. I'm gonna get some water, because I need prepared to read for 2 hours. What's the shock from? That looks like it's from Wind Waker. Okay, so, I'm trying to remember what happened last time. I remember distinctively, I think last week, we started the romance with Octavia, and then I let her get away with some secret cult, because dat puss. So let's see. Oh yeah, we're getting close to the end of the game for sure. All you remember was the segs. That's all you need to remember. Let me see, is there something that can refresh me on what's happened? Okay, yes, this is good. Okay, yes, I do remember my family was branded by dishonor. Yes, and I banned the Court of Honor, which is where the nobles can duel people for, you know, defacing their honor. I banned that. That was a big deal. And I'm trying, yes, now I remember. I need to get my yes, I am perfect. As long as I keep my justice where it's at, Augustin doesn't feel betrayed, we'll be able to sentence Otten. Let's do it. Can I turn the game up a smidge? Sure. Is that better? Music sound good? Background music is nice. It absolutely is. I think that's part of the appeal of it. In fact, let's turn it up a little bit more. How about that? I like that. Okay. Alright. But I think, you know, it's like you say, you jokingly call this audiobook time, but for real, this is a really good, you can just literally have my stream in the background while I read this shit. And I'm sure some people do. Hey, Hunbun. God. Sometimes she smiles at me like we're still just met yesterday. Anyway, tell Hunbun you say hey. I will when she comes back out. She can't come on camera. She is butt naked. Hey! Emmy says hi.
Why are you smiling like that?
No reason.
What did you say?
Nothing. I said you're butt naked.
Oh, I know that's something I'm gonna do fair. I'll watch.
You're gonna watch? Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch for a little bit.
Okay. But she's about to take a bath. She doesn't have work today. That's nice. But she has a dentist appointment, I have an eye doctor appointment, so she's gonna go to the dentist, and then we're gonna meet up for me to go to the eye doctor, because she likes to help me pick up my glasses. And yeah, that's what we got going on today. Anyway, let's get started. Take it. Yeah, no. She's taking a bath. I was gonna say shower, but she doesn't take many showers. Anyway. Debacle in the shop. Your tenure as a judge has yielded considerable results. More and more often, common people come to the prefecture to assert their rights, nice, and succeed in doing so, even nicer. Some local villagers have even started coming to seek the court's protection. All over the province, there is talk that a new era has come, that the law is in fact the same for all. Excuse me, sorry, I got sniffles. This morning, on your way to the prefecture, you anticipate a peaceful day, full of paperwork. But as soon as you enter your office, Elborn rushes in after you. Don't sit down, Brante. You've been assigned an urgent investigation. This morning, a tradeswoman, old Mrs. Steiner, came to the prefecture with her 2 grandchildren. She demands that we punish Sir Elverger for setting fire to her shop and trying to rob her. Well, the Steiners had just finished writing up the complaint when Elverger himself came bursting in. He immediately sued the Steiners for his own murder. Jeez. Hunbun, I know you're watching. Thank you for the positive things you're sending me via text. I appreciate that. I've come to warn you, Brante. Even though the Steiners were acting in self-defense, you still have to find in favor of Elverger. You're surprised to hear this. Look at that here. That's not the right kind of here. You're surprised to hear this from Elborn. Seeing your perplexed look, the prefect frowns. I'll explain. Before, low-born shopkeepers like the Steiners wouldn't have dreamed of suing a nobleman. Everything was always decided in favor of the nobility, as you may recall, but now the law has more power. Our efforts have not been in vain. However, now we're talking about the murder of a nobleman by commoners. I'm afraid these changes have been too drastic. The governing elite of the province are watching our every step. Justifying the murder of a nobleman would be going too far. The overseer and the magistrate might well decide that it's time to take back the common people's rights. We can't let that happen, Lucius. Okay, so we're going too far over the edge to the point where nobility is going to take action. Got it. Court is in session. You are presiding over the Board of Justice. One bench is occupied by the somber Maximilian Elverger. His papers state that he is a nobleman of the sword, living off of his estate. He strokes the pommel of his sword nervously and breathes heavily, ready to explode in a fit of rage. On the other bench, you see the Steiners, the low-born owners of a well-known jewelry store. Anne Steiner, a short, wizened woman, wrapped in several layers of dark silk, looks defiantly at Elverger. Her 2 grandchildren stand silently behind her, their faces impassive. Oh, it's Lynad. My squad noticed the fire at the Steiner shop. We stormed in and saw those Steiners standing over the dead body of Sir Elverger and watching it crumble to dust. The old woman shouted that she had to go to the prefecture, so we brought her here and her grandchildren here. Excuse me. And Sir Elverger suffered a lesser death before our very eyes. Miscreants! Those low-born scum killed me! You sternly call the nobleman to order. The commoners will speak first. Sir Elverger showed up at our shop at dawn and started banging on the door. We opened, despite him being completely drunk, scarcely able to stand on his feet. He demanded to see our pearls. Well, what could I do? I showed them to him. And then he started sweeping our pearls right into his own pockets. I tell him, those pearls are not free, sir. But he draws his sword. I'm a nobleman, he says. Everything should be free for me, such as your lot, he yells. Your lot is to work for me. Well, I explained that the pearls cost 20 coins, so he takes a lit lamp and smashes it on the floor. And then he charges at me with his sword. My grandchildren came to my rescue. They went and pushed him. They used no weapon, naturally. Sir Elverger hit his temple against a showcase and fell. We came to see how he was, but he was already dying. We didn't kill him. His own anger did. Oh, hey. It's R-Dub. R-Dub. Where have we met? When did we meet? I know we've met before. I think you came to my stream a few months ago, and, I want to say you were from one of the Discords I'm in. I'm sorry, my memory's a little hazy. Slashy Discord, that's it. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I knew you were R-dub. It's like, the name rang bells, but I couldn't remember where I've seen you. I must have seen you, like, in Slashy stream. That must be what it is. But it's good to have you, bud. That sentence is not at all optimized. It's fine, bud. Don't worry. But, yeah, you're here for audiobook day, so I'm just reading. I make choices, eventually. It happens, but mostly the stream is just me reading, and I fucking love it, so here we are. But it's good to have you, like I said. So I didn't come here to confess to murder, but to ask you, Your Honor, to protect our family against this bloodsucker. We had a hard time putting the fire in the shop out after what that rascal did. You ungrateful old hag. You should have been delighted that I was taking your pearls. All of high society would have seen them. You are a blasphemer, too, not knowing your lot. The lowborn must not contradict us nobles. It's forbidden. I know my lot. I'm supposed to command. So I'm in my right when I take what I want from the rabble, and His Honor the Judge will agree with me. Your Honor, I appeal to you, one nobleman to another. It's simply an outrage for the rabble to behave like this. Those little shopkeepers took my first life from me. Me, the heir to the Elverger legacy. I demand that these Steiners be hanged at once, or burned at the stake, since they followed the heresy of Fotis. Only the heretics deny their lot. There's commotion in the courtroom. Those who came to support the Steiners are infuriated by the nobleman's words. Elverger's noble friends frantically demand that the lowborn be silenced. You call the court to order, but to no avail. The room will not calm down until you deliver your verdict. You rub your temple. I'm feeling that. If you manage to acquit the old lady, it will set a precedent for the entire empire. The lowborn have never had the right to defend themselves with force against one another, let alone the nobles. You have the increased influence of the prefecture on your side. You could even try to legalize the right of the common people of Magr to defend their lives, but such a daring move would not succeed without the support of powerful people. You remember Elborn's warning. What would the consequences of your decision be for the common folk of Anazat? Should you acquit the Steiners? Can you? Damn it. Fuck. I don't want to... I'm on such a balance here. Look at this, look at this. I talked about this a minute ago, but like... Elborn has asked me to sentence the nobleman, right? Or to acquit the nobleman. If I don't, he might feel betrayed. If I do, I might lose the justice level I'm at. I am really on the precipice here, and I'm not sure which one to choose. Okay. Fuck. On the other hand, my justice can't go past 9. Shit. Shit. Fuck. I'm punishing the Steiners. It hurts, but it might be the only thing to do. That does not feel good in my chest. Curtly and unemotionally, you deliver your verdict. The very same verdict the majority of the people in the courtroom were expecting. Elverger's demand will be satisfied. The Steiners committed the murder of a nobleman. Their guilt is undeniable. Whether Elverger attacked them or not is of no consequence. A commoner may not raise his hand against a nobleman. The 3 of them will be hanged this very day. We've never expected anything good from the upper class before, so why start now? I've heard plenty of talk about your justice, but nothing's really changed. Shame on you, Judge. Ugh, that hurt. That hurt real bad. The trial is over. The old woman and her grandchildren are taken away to be prepared for the execution. Elverger lifts his hat politely and leaves. You love that the pterodactyl scream from RW. Yeah, that is a good one. On your way out, you meet Elborn. The prefect follows you with a look of understanding. Fuck. Fuck. I need 8, right? Fuck. You spend the rest of your day pacing your office mindlessly. This trying day is finally at an end. Come on, I need another chance to get my justice up. I need it. Oh, the hunt for Tomas. Okay. You're shaving before going to work. You scoop some warm water from the wash basin. Okay. The morning light reflected in the mirror is blinding. A servant rushes in with an urgent letter, or rather a crumbled note. He says it's from a childhood friend of yours. I am reading for you, Kenny. I hope you enjoy. Good to see you, Jill. Mama Light. You flinch involuntarily. A nasty cut appears on your cheek. Hold on. Sorry. I got, burps this morning for some reason. Lucius, I'm in trouble. Otten knows that I helped you. Now he's finally decided to get rid of me. His henchmen are on my trail already. They'll find me no matter how well I hide. I'm out of time, Brante. If you can, for the sake of our old friendship, help me out of this mess, somehow. How the fuck does it... He's in prison! This book do be booking, that's right. You like audiobook day? R-dub, I'm glad. This might be the last day of it for a little while, but I'm really glad people actually enjoy this, because I really enjoy it. If Otten finds me, I'll be off to the Shining Pillar. I'm all out of lives. Your friend, Tomas. I'm glad you're vibing, R-dub. Eliminate henchmen. Oh. You crush the note in your hands. A drop of blood runs down your cheek. Your old friend is in danger because he helped you with the case against Otten. If you don't interfere, Tomas Guerrero is doomed. I mean, I would prefer to protect, but that doesn't seem to be an option. So I guess I'll do this. Crumbling the note in your hand, you pace the room and think. The hiding place you provided for Tomas proved to be insufficient. You've not been able to save him from Otten entirely. Well, you must do it now. Okay. But fighting Otten on your own would be unwise. You need a more cunning plan. How could Otten's henchmen find Tomas's hiding place? Only through you. But they would not be so foolish as to attack you, a prefecture judge. That means you have to get rid of them yourself. What? I'm not really quite sure I follow that logic, but okay. You get in your carriage and order the driver to take you to the prefecture. You find Captain Linad. The commander of the gendarmes greets you like an old friend. Judge Brante, how can I be of service? With a mysterious air, you gesture for Linad to come closer and inform him that an attack is planned against you tonight. Captain Linad narrows his eyes, suspicious. Keeping order is our duty, Your Honor. My squad will defend you. You hint to Linad that the situation is a little more complicated than that. Perpetrators might not attack you outright. They may just threaten you. But the gendarmes have a responsibility to prevent this as well, don't they? And afterwards, perhaps they could testify in court that the criminals are about to attack you. I see. You know, many citizens of Anazat live on the edge of poverty. Crime is on the rise, Your Honor. It's understandable, even with the gendarme's wages. It's hard to get by. You understand what Linad is implying. And you assume... and you assure that the efforts of the gendarmes will be properly rewarded. But after capturing the criminals, gendarmes also have to confirm the fact of the attack in court. That night you go for a walk around the city, purposefully choosing empty side streets. Shadows follow you at a distance, gendarmes in civilian dress. Ominous silhouettes appear before you. You examine the faces beneath their hoods. Their clothing is ostentatiously coarse, but their manners and speech betray them as servants from a noble household. The leader speaks, asking if you are a friend of one Sir Tomas Guerrero. He says that they are his friends, too, and wish to pay him a visit, but are having trouble finding him. They're attacking the judge! Arrest them! Oh, shit. In the blink of an eye, the gendarmes swoop in and round up Otten's henchmen. The blows from the gendarmes' clubs quickly beat any desire to resist out of them. They are put in wooden restraints and taken to the prefecture. Linad hands you some papers. These are our statements, Your Honor. We're always happy to help. The same night, with a stroke of a pen, you send all 5 of Otten's servants to the gallows for attacking a nobleman and a judge. Fortunately, they are all low-born, so no one will intercede on their behalf, not even Otten himself. The commander will be furious, but he will also have to find some new goons. At the very least, you have bought Tomas some time. You hurry to see your friend, but he is not in his hideout anymore. All you find is a note. Oh, fuck. Lucius, after you got rid of those thugs, I decided to flee Anazat. Without his spies, Otten seems to have lost my trail, and it's all thanks to you. I'm in your eternal debt, Brante. Aren't you always? I hope you take down that bastard and put an end to his crimes once and for all. We'll meet again. Your friend, Tomas. Ooh, career went down. That's okay. I just need justice. You spend day after day at work, toiling over Otten's case, but something far more urgent demands the prefecture's attention today. The city is in chaos. There was an explosion in the square in front of City Hall. Holy fuck. Oh fuck. Someone threw a bomb at Magistrate Remy Elverman's carriage. The assassination attempt failed. The magistrate was not inside the carriage at the time. He was unharmed, although his servants and driver did not fare so well. Even in your office, you can still smell the acrid smoke from the blast. Need water. The gendarmes reacted quickly. 5 suspects, craftsmen and factory workers, were brought to the prefecture before sunset. They are accused of joining the Last Straw, a secret society of insurgents seeking to overthrow imperial rule. This society is on its way to becoming the talk of the city. Rumor has it that their leader is an enigmatic woman, a tough criminal by the name of Sophia. Familiar. The 5 suspects deny their involvement, but a number of eyewitnesses saw them walking toward the square. Some of them still have traces of gunpowder on their fingers. Judge Carlo Falcagraben has taken the case. The trial will be mercilessly swift. The 5 are to be hanged tomorrow morning. I mean, like, that's understandable. They fucking committed a terrorist act. I have a very nice reading voice. Well, thank you, Mama Light. I appreciate that. The sun begins to set. You're about to leave for home when you hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. A stranger enters your office. He is pale, with chiseled features, a furrowed brow, a thick black mustache, and dark eyes watching you intently, from deep within their sockets. He presents you with a gilded pendant in the shape of a wheel. Baron Philippe Alfaro, Secret Chancellery Advisor. I imagine you're well aware that we deal with plots, schemes, and revolts against the Empire. I have a matter of great importance to the Empire to discuss with you, Sir Brante. I'm aware that the case of the explosion in the square was not assigned to you, but for our purposes, this is actually for the best. The Secret Chancellery has been following this so-called Last Straw group for a long time now. They are the greatest threat to peace in Anazat, but you can help us rid the city of this menace. Baron Alfaro produces a neatly folded sheet of paper. This is a list of known insurgents connected to the Last Straw. They haven't blown anyone up just yet, but surely you realize that it would be most imprudent to wait for them to commit their next crime. The time to act is now. Scan the list quickly. Some of the names on it seem somewhat familiar, perhaps from your youth. Find a way, any way, to implicate them in today's assassination attempt, and you will prevent more explosions in the future. The Empire will rest easy if we can rid ourselves of this scum as quickly as possible. If you render this service to the Secret Chancellery, you may rely on my assistance in the future. As you may suspect, I have more than my fair share of powerful connections. Silence falls. The Secret Chancellery Advisor pierces you with his heavy gaze. I mean, like, I only have one choice to make here. I have to obey. Okay. We'll see how that goes. You sigh heavily and manage a nod. Baron Alfaro allows himself a reassuring half-smile. I'm glad to see we understand each other, Brante. I will put in a good word for you with my connections. You're a much more agreeable man than your prefect. Perhaps you might take this place one day, but until that happens, you may call for my assistance in matters that require particular discretion. A long and sleepless night follows. 10 new cases lie open before you. Gendarmes set up ambushes and catch every soul in Alfaro's list. You fabricate witness statements and describe non-existent evidence, tying these 10 people to the 5 behind the assassination attempt against the magistrate. One by one, the 10 prisoners appear in your office to hear their verdict. You do not look at them. You would rather not remember the faces of the people you send to the hereafter. The morning after, 10 more people join the 5 that have already been sent to the gallows. Back at home, Father asks you about the case. He is furious when he learns the truth. I cannot believe it. Those people were never proven guilty, and yet you sent them off to die. You quote Philippe, the end justifies the means when you're fighting an insurgency. If you take too long to eradicate the threat, it might be too late. I never thought I'd hear my own son say such things. The shame, the disgrace. You never should have done this. We serve the law, we don't break it. Your sister Gloria also hears these events from your father. That execution, it was you? I knew those people. 3 of them were our neighbors. This is horrible. How could you do such a thing, Lucius? Fuck, man. This stream is starting off with me not feeling good about my decisions. After that day, you and Father barely speak at home. At work, you only talk about work. The rest of the prefecture soon notices the change. Don't take it so hard, Brante. Everyone has their principles. Sometimes they just don't line up. The world wouldn't need any judges if that wasn't true. Your father blames you, but if you ask me, I say you did your duty. Had you refused the secret chancellery, it would have meant nothing but disaster for all of us. What kind of justice could we expect then? However, the quarrel with Father goes on and on. You begin to feel uncomfortable at home. You start spending more and more time at work with each passing day. Fuck, man. I really gotta up my justice. Unity is down in the house too, great. Patronage of the powerful. Gain the favor of someone very powerful indeed. Okay. As a consequence of my previous actions, secret plot with Gloria. Yeah, I can't reconsider my choices, Jill. It's just not how the game works. A year has passed since the day Gloria asked for your protection. You've brought up your lowly position several times. Her lowly position several times in conversations with Father, but every time his face darkens and he asks you to stop. You can feel Stefan's influence behind these refusals. Your only option is to wait for something to change. Meanwhile, emotions are running high in the family. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She is often seen in the company of young citizens of low estate. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers, and connections like these will be her downfall. Your sister obediently lends an ear to his speeches, and then vanishes again. You are relaxing in the bath after a long day, when you suddenly hear rapid footsteps in the hallway and Stefan's angry voice. The door to the bathroom bursts open. What the fuck, man? I'm taking a bath. Lucius, get dressed! We're waiting for you in the sitting room. It's urgent. Perplexed, you get out of the tub and make yourself presentable. Father and Stefan are waiting for you in the sitting room. Gloria is huddled in a chair in the corner. Your elder brother swiftly locks the door behind you. This bodes ill. So, I was on my way to a ball at the Laberius mansion. I was already on their footstep when a servant told me that he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. Father, Lucius, whom do you suppose they meant? Gloria looks at Stefan defiantly, her lips pursed tightly. This is the last straw. You will not make pariahs of us all, Gloria. I will not allow you to ruin everything Sir Gregor worked for. Stefan is nearly screaming, but then he pulls himself together and continues in a more composed manner. I am afraid Lady Gloria cannot remain in this house, but, being honorable people, we must provide for her future. Sir Jose L. Pelletier is willing to take her as his lawful wife. Gloria, you will be accepted into a household of nobles of the sword. I've been negotiating with your suitor for quite some time. Who gave you the right to decide my fate behind my back? You aren't even the head of this family. Gloria. You must abide by the decisions of your elders. This family has done so much for you already. Now I'm even going to provide you with a good match, but you're acting like a spoiled child. You will be a nobleman's wife, you fool. You'll be able to write your poems you'll want for nothing. You'll be able to enjoy your life. Sir El Pelletier has been hounding me for a year now. I can't believe he's in love with me, a lowly commoner girl. Sure, he's easy on the eyes, he's a skilled warrior and a respected nobleman, but he needs a wife to give birth to his heirs, follow him around obediently at social gatherings, and praise his chivalry. Can't you see that I don't belong in his family? Stuff and nonsense. Father, here's a letter to the El Pelletiers. Sign it as the head of the family. We should invite our future relatives to our house and introduce ourselves to Gloria's future husband and his parents. I hope that Lucius will do his part as well. Father reluctantly skims the letter and frowns.
Stefan, why have you never spoken to me about a matter of such importance? No match can be made without my consent. Have I announced my wish for Gloria to be married?
Father, she leaves us no choice. You know that we cannot make Gloria Brante, but our family reputation still suffers because of her rebellious ways. Don't you see that this marriage will benefit everyone? Gloria springs to her feet, choking with rage. You'd do anything to prevent me from joining this family. This marriage will bring nothing but sorrow to me and Sir El Pelletier. All you ever think about is your own interests. Ingrate! I'm looking I'm looking out for you, and this is how you repay me. Or would you prefer to be cast out for your disgraceful antics? Father, please sign the letter and free us from this debacle once and for all. Gloria rushes to you in desperation and clasps your hand. Brother, please! You promised you'd never let them kick me out.
Oh, fuck.
If I hadn't banned the Court of Honor, I could have dueled him. But I wouldn't want to kill him. I don't want to force Father either. Let me look at my family relations right now. That's not what I want. Family. That's not quite what I want either. The relations, here we go. Alright, I wanted to look at... Oh, they're not on here. Okay, he's at 3. He's at -1. 5, 4, 5. Jesus Christ, Stefan, you really are the odd one out, huh? I don't want to threaten him with that. Fuck. I'm gonna put pressure on Father. Father hesitates, watching Stefan and Gloria argue, but you are certain that he will most likely take your advice. Pointedly turning away from Stefan, you address your father. What is happening? How has Stefan assumed power in the family? What gives him the right to make decisions about Gloria's future? Rage slowly boils in your father's eyes. You zealously add fuel to the fire. Your passionate speech continues. Father made his decision when he accepted Gloria into his home with her mother. It was grandfather who tried to oust them from his home for the crime of their low birth. Oust them both from his home. Oh. The old man may be resting in his tomb, but his machinations have been taken over by his favorite grandson, Stefan. Father has surely had enough of this tyranny under his own roof. He has the right to choose his own family. Yes. Father slams his fist on the table. Manipulation. Stefan instinctively steps back. Gloria gives the head of the house a look full of hope.
You are right, Lucius. Enough! I did not earn the noble lot to be ordered around. Stefan, I am the head of this household. You are not Gregor Brante, and you never will be.
He takes the letter to the groom's family and tears it to shreds. Oh, okay. I thought he literally took the letter to the groom's family and then tore it to shreds. No, he just took the letter and... Okay, got it. Stefan's face grows crimson. He can barely contain his rage. If you cannot keep the family in check and defend our honor, Father, then I will have to do it myself.
Stefan's words send you into a long, vehement speech. How dare he? Father has dedicated his entire life to this family. Only he knows what's best for it. You're right, Lucius. My fear of your grandfather was too strong. But those days are over. Gloria is Lydia's daughter, the daughter of my wife, and she is my daughter as well. Gloria is shaking now. She cannot believe her ears. Father, what are you saying? Come to your senses. Your dishonor will ruin our entire family. Father does not dignify Stefan's words with a response. His eyes are fixed solely on Gloria. Dishonor does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Come to me, my daughter. Gloria Brante. Gloria falls on her adoptive father's shoulder, racked by silent tears. Father. You join in their embrace. Gloria squeezes your hand in hers, your sister's eyes glimmering with joy and gratitude. Yeah, I thought he'd hate that. Bad blood. Ugh. The door slams loudly. Stefan rushes down the steps, saddles his horse, and is gone. A long time passes before he returns. Nice. Ooh, well, I mean, at least he still likes me. Unity is dropping, though. Shit, I don't have much time to get my justice up by like 4 points. The Archduke relents. After many years, the simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Melanidas have finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional tax from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Melanidas, which has protected you since time immemorial. Wait a minute, what? Okay. The farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in the ancestral castle of Serpenverda. The gentry who remained loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer? Or is this just an elaborate ruse? Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra has lost some sense of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Archean rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. Common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. Okay, wealth and power has gone up. Okay. Another year of service as a judge is behind you, but you have no time to celebrate. Your days are filled with unremarkable litigation and similar-looking complaints. Again and again, you see poorly written complaint forms. They claim that noble landowners are extorting money, punishing commoners for nothing, doing whatever they please. You've noticed a change in tone, from pleading to desperate to quietly furious. The low-born lot is to suffer, but how much longer can they endure? Every day, once the petty litigation has been dealt with, you return to Otten's case. Again and again, for 2 years now, you search for a way to do the unthinkable. To have an Archnean, and the High Commander at that, convicted for his crimes. You've not heard from Otten since your encounter at the City Hall, but he likely has spies among the judges and gendarmes. Sooner or later, he will realize the true state of your progress and find a way to get rid of this case, and you, unless you are prepared to strike the first blow. But what should you do? Will you speak against Otten in public and summon him to a trial? Is there any other way to deal with the High Commander? Either way, now is not the time, and so you wait and prepare. As you approach the steps of the prefecture today, a line of Legion soldiers wearing red cloaks bar your path. They are the personal guard of the provincial overseer. Has Gaius Tempest grace you with his august presence? What does that mean as like an adjective? I don't know. You enter only after presenting your judge's signet to the guards. The common room of the prefecture is remarkably quiet and deserted. All petitioners have been chased away. The judges and gendarmes do not dare to leave their offices. Everyone is afraid to breathe. The overseer, the Emperor's own brother, has arrived completely unexpectedly. The guards standing watch say you are expected at the prefect's office. You are escorted upstairs. Alborn is visibly anxious. The honored guest is here.
Reclining in the prefect's comfortable chair, his crimson fur-trimmed cloak cast over its back, is Overseer Gaius Tempest himself. You bow deeply to the Overseer. He acknowledges your presence with a quick nod and turns back to Elborn. Well, Elborn, I am positively incensed to see what has become of the city under your care. I put you in this seat to instill order under Imperial law, but you have given the commoners too many freedoms. And now they are revolting against their lot and the Emperor's rule, plotting, forming secret societies, and now an explosion in Anazat. An attempt on the magistrate's life. Everyone in the city is talking about some group called the Last Straw. This is unthinkable. Elborn accepts the blame without any sign of emotion, but you notice the muscles twitch behind the wrinkles on his face. I've ordered the Secret Chancellery to deal with this Last Straw, but their leader, a low-born woman named Sophia, is still at large. Last night I ordered a Legion squad to set a trap for this Sophia. We almost had her, but then an Archnean appeared and attacked the soldiers. Elborn glances at you, confused, an unspoken question in his eyes. Did you hear that, Brante? An Archnean defending a low-born woman? But how? Indeed, Prefect. One Anthony Fess, a young Archnean of little note. It seems he now values low-born insurgents more than his high birth, his honor, and his loyalty to the Imperial dynasty. Baron El Faro of the Secret Chancellery has been tracking him for some time. The young man began mingling with revolutionary rabble and has since lost his mind. Now he swings his sword about in defense of the rights of the common folk. Let us leave the insurgents to the Secret Chancellery. That is their duty. What concerns me, however, is Anthony Fess. My legionnaires were nipping at the insurgents' heels, and then this Archnean appeared and murdered 5 soldiers. Those poor souls were utterly flummoxed, unsure whether to fight back or humbly accept their death at the hands of an Archnean. The mind boggles, Your Eminence. An Archnean has broken the law for the sake of the common estate. May I assume Your Eminence has a plan for this Sir Fess? Would that I even had a semblance of a plan. What a sordid predicament. Anthony Fess is a traitor who has committed a great offense against the crown, yet he is an Archnean. I shudder to think what might happen were he to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This has never happened in all the province's history. The Archnean dynasties will not tolerate it. Bye, Hunbun. And Archduke Melanidas will be swift to take advantage of the situation and undermine my authority in the province. Your Eminence, the law of the Empire is the same for all its subjects. Perhaps it would be better to have its power demonstrated, once and for all? Sir Fess challenged more than the soldiers of the Legion. He challenged the rule of the Emperor himself. Elborn, what did I just tell you? Prosecuting an Archnean would represent an even greater threat to my authority. Find another way. This Fess is young and hot-tempered, so push him to the breaking point in the courtroom. Get him to draw his sword. Let everyone see him for the dangerous traitor he is. Even for an Archnean, this would be an unforgivable transgression. Not even the Archduke would dispute a verdict against him. Gaius Tempest's gaze focuses on you. You do your best to show no emotion and remain as invisible as possible until the Overseer gives you permission to speak. Judge Brante, you are here for a reason. You will handle the prosecution. I'd rather have Sir Prefect deal with this mess of a case himself, but he is too powerful to risk it if it fails. Rest assured, many nobles and Archneans will demand you set him free, no matter how much evidence you have against him. The traitor Fess must be punished, but I ask you to ensure that my reputation remains untarnished. I have no intention of going down in history as the Overseer who allowed our inviolable Archnean rights to be compromised. That would be crossing the line. Prepare your case. Gaius Tempest rises from his seat in the blink of an eye and walks out, escorted by his guards. For a few seconds, utter silence fills the prefect's office. Then, at long last, Elborn feels he no longer has to restrain himself. Ugh. He blames me for what is going on? Me, his most loyal human? No, I will do everything I can to have that criminal punished. Do you realize how much it will advance our cause if we can get that Archnean condemned in a court of law? I agree. This is the only way we can instill the rule of law in these lands, Brante. Shit, we're jumping right into it, huh? The Overseer insists that the trial be scheduled for tomorrow. Anthony Fess has been located. He was found and surrounded by gendarmes on the street. However, he did not resist and gave his word of honor to stand trial. You barely have time to prepare the charges before entering the courtroom.
The normally half-empty seats in the courtroom are crowded today. The highest ranks of the aristocracy and the most noble families and dynasties all focus their gaze on you as soon as you step inside. In the depths of the courtroom, you notice Octavia Melanidas, surrounded by her retinue of young ladies. The Archduke's daughter watches the trial unfold with a wry, indifferent smile. You ascend to the podium. Prefect Elborn himself presides over the board of judges. The courtroom doors swing open, and the defendant Anthony Fess enters, escorted by gendarmes. The young Arknian is dressed in a defiantly modest garb for his status. No embellishments, no jewelry, just a simple linen undershirt. However, he still carries a sword, as expected from a high-born noble. You read the charges as procedure demands. Sir Anthony Fess willfully caused the lesser deaths of 5 soldiers of the Legion, thereby allowing a number of the last straw insurgents to escape punishment. Murmuring fills the courtroom. The Arknian's large dark eyes watch closely, catching every motion in the hall. Then, suddenly, Anthony Fess interrupts you to speak for himself. People of Anazat, I was not brought here by force today. I broke the law, and I am ready and willing to be held accountable before all of you. I fought those Legion soldiers, and I killed him. What? Killed them? Did I violate Imperial law? Yes, I did. Yet does anyone even bother to count the transgressions committed by our rulers on a daily basis? Why does this law exist, if no one follows it? Wow, this dude's trying to be a martyr. I do not accept a law that offers no salvation from eternal tyranny for the common estate. By my birth, I was given the power to rule over humans, but if suffering is all that rule brings, then I reject it. I am ready and willing to sacrifice my very life for the sake of justice, so that all citizens of the Empire will begin to respect the law. The young Arknian's words, loud and desperately audacious, spark turmoil in the courtroom. The stunned board of judges is at a loss for words. The gendarmes freeze in confusion, and the nobles are terrified. You hear their screams, "Madman, pull yourself together! You're no commoner, you're an Arknian!" Courtroom is on the verge of exploding with tension. The gendarmes try in vain to placate the audience. The board of judges looks to you. As the prosecutor, you must continue reading the charges against the defendant. The fate of the rebellious Arknian is in your hands, but do you have what it takes to make the most of this situation? Ooh, this is really gonna piss off the Emperor, but this is what I'm doing. Find him guilty. I mean, like, this is a huge stride for us, man. For our cause. Hold on, I gotta clean my glasses real quick. Okay, I'm glad I'm getting new glasses. These are kind of shit. Picking the side of the law, I know, right? Damn law boy. You exchange glances with Elborn. The time has come to keep the promise you gave him and bring all nobles, even Arknians, under the rule of law. Elborn nods, determined to support your accusation. You raise your hand in a commanding gesture, calling for attention. With everyone focused on you, Anthony Fess's voice trails off. You continue your opening statement and list in detail all the transgressions committed by the young Arknian nobleman. 5 counts of assault and murder of an imperial servant, aiding insurgents, and his rebellious statements made just now in court. The evidence is presented next, piece by piece. Summoned to the podium one by one, the reborn Legion soldiers who suffered lesser deaths at Fess's hands confirm your every word. Anthony Fess stares you down defiantly, his gaze full of scorn. The aristocracy bristles at your accusations, even after Fess's call for a revolt. There are whispers in the stalls. What is that judge thinking, trying to convict an Arknian? But you are well prepared. You have earned enough favors in high places. Even the old nobility will have to step back. Magistrate Elverman rises to speak. Judge Brante is young, but he deserves our trust. Sir Fess's transgressions against the Empire are heinous, but his views are even more so. The insurgent must face justice, his high-born and lineage notwithstanding. Slowly, reluctantly, the nobles side with their leader. The trial continues, but the outcome is all but decided after the magistrate's speech. The board of judges, led by Elborn, is ready to deliver the verdict. The other judges are uncertain, but the prefect's eyes are adamant.
We find Sir Fess guilty on all counts. For treason and insurgency against the crown, Anthony Fess is sentenced to exile in the Northern Isles. The Fess family will forfeit its estate to the provincial overseer. May this be a lesson to all subjects in this province, regardless of their birth or estate. From now on, no one is above the law. Judges, I accept your sentence. I prepared myself long ago to suffer as the lowborn suffer, but mark my words, justice must be the same for all. I will fight against the old ways until justice and equality reign throughout the Empire. I kind of like this guy. You watch firsthand as the Archnean is stripped of his noble sword and put in chains. Elborn watches too, weary and almost incredulous. You walk to his seat at the head of the board and shake his hand. We did it, Lucius. An Archnean in chains. I never thought I'd live to see the day. It's just a shame we had to sacrifice this particular Archnean for our goal. He was the only one of his race who fought for equal justice. But alas, that does not justify his crimes. Still, this case is over now. Get some rest, Brante. You've earned it. A letter arrives soon after the trial, bearing the Overseer's seal. Predictably, Gaius Tempest is displeased with the outcome. Yeah, I figured. Sir Judge, I warned you against exactly this kind of impertinence. Now I will face a hail of complaints from all the Archnean dynasties in Magra, each and every Archnean demanding sanctuary from the law. What am I to tell them now? Your myopic decision is most regretful. From now on, I will be more careful when selecting trusted individuals. You file away the Overseer's letter, grab a bottle of fine wine, and head to the Prefect's office with it. You may not have won the Overseer's favor this time, but today was a triumph nonetheless. Yes. Yes! I just need like one more point of justice. Diplomacy, man. Oh, fuck. Deafening silence fills your home. You're standing by Mother's bedside. So are Father, Gloria, and Nathan. For an entire day, Mother has been feverish, barely conscious. Gloria never leaves her side, not even for a minute. Nathan has even stopped drinking, so he can offer your sister his awkward help. Mother's health deteriorated greatly over the past year, and the fighting in the family home has dealt a great blow to her. She has been bedridden for a month. You've been to every doctor and folk healer, but no one can help her. They all tell you the same thing. Lady Lydia's life is in the hands of the twins now. If she passes away, she will not come back. And so you wait by Mother's bed in sorrow, hoping that she will regain consciousness. There is a long silence that no one has the courage to break. Then, at last, you hear Nathan's meek voice. Mother, it's me, Nathan. Can you hear me? Mother suddenly rises on her elbows. She looks around, her eyes unseeing, beads of sweat forming on her pale forehead. My son, where are you? Nathan takes Mother by her thin, emaciated hand. She leans closer to him, struggling to recognize his face. Stefan, were you playing with your younger brothers in the garden? You must be all dirty. Come here. You may not be my son, but I care for you as though you were my own. Oh, what a nice, happy family we have. A blessing from the twins. Nathan is unsure what to do or say. Father strokes his wife's hair. His eyes are two orbs of searing, indescribable pain. You're a little confused, Lydia. This is Nathan, and the children are all grown up now, remember? Mother's eyes were bright and alive just now, but the next moment they grow dim again. Her head falls weakly back onto the pillow. You're right, my husband. The children grew up, but I was never able to teach them how to live in peace with each other. I let you down, Robert. You made a mistake when you took me into your home. You saved my daughter and me from a life of poverty. And how did I repay you? Gloria cannot take it anymore. What are you saying, Mother? Don't you dare blame yourself. You did your best. You did all you could. Father looks away, unable to hold back the deluge of tears. Mother's voice, so faint now, calls out to you. And Lucius, where is he? With great care, you move closer to Mother. You answer her quietly. You're here, right by her side. Lucius, I'm so happy to know you're here. I always knew greatness awaited you, ever since you were a little boy. What a shame I won't be there to see it. I couldn't save the Brante family. I will face my punishment at my final judgment. But don't worry, my dears. I'm ready to stand before the twins. Lydia Bronte's voice trails off, no longer a voice, just a final whisper of life. Will you accept your mother's death, or will you find a way to fight for her life? Damn it, man. If I hadn't... I mean, like... I was gonna say, if I hadn't made Gloria a member of the family, I could have saved her, it seems like. But, like, I don't really regret that. Oh, I see. This is if I hadn't done that with Father. Oh, fuck. Damn it. If I had just, like, blackmailed Stefan, I could have done this. That's what sucks. Fuck. Your heart aches and grows numb as you realize the inevitable. There's nothing you can do to help your dying mother. There's nothing that would give her strength. Your family has grown weak from all the spite and strife that has filled your home. Even now, at Mother's deathbed, you can feel the enmity, disappointment, and anger driving your family apart. Children, accept this humbly. Her voice trails off. Her eyes grow dull. Her cold hands release yours, fall onto the bed, and grow still. The last emotion on Mother's face is a sadness born of exhaustion. A scream of despair rips itself out of Gloria's throat. We did this to her. We fought so much that we killed her. Me, Stefan, Lucius. Nathan yelps with grief. He runs away, howling. Father slowly sits and takes his late wife's hand in his. His tears flow no more. His eyes stare far into the distance, empty and bleak. Lydia. You mourn her together, but alone. You leave the house to roam the garden, empty and numb. Mother has left this world for Peak of the Pillar to face the twins' judgment. She spent all her life preparing for this journey, but now her mortal life has ended. She's no longer here. Never again will she gather her family at the table. Never again will she offer a word of solace in trying times. Never again will she greet you with her quiet, humble smile. You bury your face in your hands. Lydia Brante, your mother, has left this world. Eesh. Damn it. I'm making all these mistakes with my choices, and there's nothing I can do about it. Just like real life. It's been a long time since your last encounter with Octavia Melanidas. You've come to expect to run into her from time to time in the most unusual of circumstances. But Octavia has all but disappeared, vanished completely from Imperial High Society. Then, one night, you come home to find a letter bearing the heraldic serpents of the Melanidas dynasty. The handwriting is not Octavia's. This letter was penned by the Archduke himself. We, Duke Tarquinius of the great Melanidas dynasty, salute you, Judge Lucius Brante. We have been made aware of your relationship with our daughter, Octavia, but we shall leave the particulars of this relationship for another time. Lady Octavia has disappeared. It has been 1 month since she was last seen in any of our holdings within the city of Anazat. We, Archduke Melanidas, expect you, Brante, to aid us in finding our lost daughter. Tread carefully, lest you attract unwanted attention to this matter. The reputation of the Melanidas dynasty is at stake. Do not fail us, Judge Brante. Sorry, wife, I just saw your message. Yeah, I mean, like, if the dentist is that close to the office, yeah, probably could have just walked, but hey, it's whatever. Oh, you want me to grab dog? Which dog, hun bun? Actually, I mean, like, take your pick. Rolls, okay. Hey, Rolls. Come here. Come here. I got you. Okay, let me turn on the cam here. Alright, here's Rolls, as you saw him on the dog cam. He's a good boy. He's a sweet little boy. For those that don't know, I do have 2 pugs. They are brothers, and this is the brother that has 2 eyes and he's fucking ripped. I'm just gonna say that, but he's a good boy. Yeah. Got a free kiss. And there he is sitting, so obediently. Such a good boy. Aren't you? Aren't you a good boy? Yeah. Anyway. The Archduke's expectation represents a direct order to find her as soon as possible. To refuse him would spell certain and immeasurable disaster. Ugh. You begin looking for Octavia immediately. The building where the Circle of Latari used to gather was abandoned long ago. You have no hope of finding any of Octavia's followers there. Wait, whoa, okay. You decide to search the prefecture archives. You spend an entire morning going through each and every case and report concerned with ancient races and rituals of old, even indirectly. After a long search, you finally stumble upon a familiar name, Alexis L. Lance, a noble from an influential bloodline. You impersonated him when you infiltrated the Circle of Latari 2 years ago. Okay. The archives say that L. Lance was reported multiple times to be searching for another faith, and claimed he was seeking to understand the design of the twins in his own way. You chuckle upon seeing this. The original L. Lance was one of the first humans ennobled by Char Melanidas himself. The proud name of his forefather is the only thing that has saved the willful Alexis from the Inquisition's pyres. Regardless, he is your only clue to Octavia's whereabouts. You head for the L. Lance mansion at once. You tell the servants at the door that you have an urgent matter to discuss with their master. A tall, gaunt nobleman with a thick beard walks down the stairs to greet you, studying you intently before the introduction, or during the introduction. His eyes seem to be locked in a perpetual state of pain, but it is different from the ever-familiar pain and suffering of the common lot. You inform El Lance sternly that you are aware of his involvement in the Circle of Latari, and hint that his noble origins may not save him from an inquisitorial visit this time. You are looking for Octavia Melanidas. Where is she? The eccentric nobleman lets out a rueful chuckle. He is not one to hide the truth. The Circle of Latari is here, within these walls, L. Lance tells you, but Lady Melanidas is currently conducting a ritual of the utmost importance. No one may interfere. This rite will return the Latari to this world, or rather, it will return the world to the eternal fold of the Latari. What the fuck does that mean? You resolutely walk past L. Lance and his intellectualizing, and march up the stairs. Servants rush to stop you, but one stern glance is enough to remind them of their lot. Upstairs, you hear the familiar droning chant. You fling open the massive gilded double doors leading to the sitting room. The silhouettes in gilded masks and flowing garb are here, undulating in their dance and producing all manner of strange sounds. In the center of their dancing circle is Octavia Melanidas, laying prostrate on the floor. What the hell? Octavia is dying. A sea of blood has already been drained from her slashed wrists, but she is still alive. What the fuck? You break through the circle of the Latari followers and rush to Octavia's side. The Archnean opens her dark eyes to look at you. The world reflected in them growing faint and dim. She wheezes a true death rattle. Octavia's body melts away in your arms. What? She just died? What? Long fingers rest on your shoulder. They belong to Alexis L. Lance. Lady Octavia will not be reborn, he tells you. She has left her body and soul alike. She has become Latari. Without a word, the members of the circle slowly part and spread out around the large room. The deed is done, says El Lance. Sending one of our number to commune with the Latari is the most we could have hoped for. Before you can compose yourself, the creature that was once Octavia flows into the room. Everyone falls silent, watching in wonder and awe. You can still recognize Octavia's features in this creature. It seems to float in the air, its body thinner, its skin now gilded and reflective in the candlelight, its eyes larger and bizarrely elongated. She became an anime girl. Octavia's followers cover the creature's delicate shoulders with a cloak and stand reverently before it. The creature that was once an Arcane approaches you, slowly, without touching the ground at all. Its voice drones, remote and distant, like an echo from a faraway realm. What the fuck? What the fuck? You have borne witness to a rebirth. The one you call Octavia Melanidas is no more. The mind of the Latari now resides within this body. The one called Octavia has cast off the shackles of your narrow world. She has awakened, now free of the blood tide, birth, and other such burdens. She sees the world as it exists in the mind of the Latari, the only true world, for all other worlds exist within it. Neither you nor any denizen of your illusory world can return the one called Octavia to her cage. You must leave, human Lucius Brante. The one you seek is no more. I mean, like, I kind of want to do this, but at the same time, I don't think she's really going to be receptive to that. I'm gonna try it. Because we were, like, in love, it seemed like. The creature that was once Octavia Melanidas turns away and slowly departs, as though swimming through invisible water. You shake off your amazement at witnessing this incredible creature. You tell Octavia again and again that this is still Octavia, your beloved. With determination, you hurry after the creature and put your hand on its shoulder. Its body is so delicate now, so fragile that you fear to shatter it with a single touch. The gaze of its abyssal almond-shaped eyes is utterly inhuman. You know nothing of what has happened to her, you tell the reborn Octavia, but your feelings for her remain the same. Hey, Riley. No matter what, you accept her transformation and will remain by her side in your thoughts and actions, even if she is no longer the woman you knew. The creature that calls itself Latari reacts with a shadow of a smile that reminds you of the old Octavia. She would be glad to hear that. We thank you, Lucius Brante. The one called Octavia's feelings for you were strong. She will remember you and leave a place for you in this illusory world until it burns away in the flames of her mind. You will remain connected until the world of the one called Octavia Melanidas ceases to exist. But she must walk her path alone. You cannot aid her, nor can you hinder her. The time has come for the one called Octavia to see the world anew. She wishes to bid you farewell. Can you, like, lie down, Riley? The Latari, this strange creature, suddenly grasps your hand and holds it to its face, inhaling the scent of your skin. The fuck? Your body reacts to this touch with a flurry of emotions and sensations you cannot even attempt to describe. Finally, the creature known as throughout the province as Octavia Melanidas floats down the stairs and disappears from sight. Dazed, you watch the members of the circle part and walk away without a word. You are soon left alone. As soon as you recover from this experience, you head to Castle Serpenverda. The Archduke will not tolerate any delays when it comes to his daughter's fate. The guards escort you to the ancient throne room, the same room where Octavia once met you herself. On the throne sits the Archduke, sullen and dour. His face resembles that of a bird of prey, his lips are tightly pressed. His body is hunched and tense. You kneel before the reigning lord of the province. I have no time for formalities, Brante. Tell me what happened to Octavia. You remain kneeling, your eyes cast down. You tell him that you have been unable to find Octavia. You search all across the city and question everyone who had ties to the Archduke's daughter, but it was all in vain. You have failed to carry out his order. You told your boss? What'd you tell your boss? What'd you tell your boss, Emmy? Archduke Melanidas listens, showing no emotion, but his hand clutches at his scepter harder and harder with every word. Does he even believe what you are saying? You had a service you could have performed for me, Brante. A service that would have brought honor to your family. Instead, you have failed me. Ah, okay, you told him about law school applications and asked for a letter of recommendation. That's cool, that's cool. I'm glad that, you know, it was your boss, he or she, received it well. I'll remember this when your father requests to be ennobled by the sword. You shall forget all ties you had to Octavia, as well as my orders. Forever. Spiritual bond, wow. The high road takes you back to Anazot, empty in the dark night. You cannot help but think of Octavia, or of the creature she has become. The creature that called itself Latari has disappeared without a trace. The Archduke's men scour the entire city, but cannot find her. Will you ever see her fragile, ethereal silhouette again? Oof. I mean, like, we were already disgraced. I don't really feel bad about that. You've had wonderful female supervisors in each of your jobs. That's cool. My supervisor at my last job was a female, but my manager was male. So, I mean, like, it was nice. Everyone got along. We were all buds. I loved that. I loved the people at that job. I didn't really love the job. A broken branch. Oh god, Stefan's leaving the family. Hold on. The sitting room is brightly illuminated by dozens of candles. Today, the tapestry bearing the Brante family crest, an oak branch wrapped in chains, hangs above the fireplace. The petitions have been granted, and the paperwork is ready. Today, Gloria will join the Brante family and become your father's lawful daughter. The entire family has gathered together, except for Stefan. Ever since you and Gloria got your way, your elder brother has spent less and less time at home, preferring to take prolonged trips or visit his noble friends. Gloria is standing by the fireplace, clothed in a modest black dress, quite unlike her usual trousers and men's jacket. Even her hair is braided today. She looks nice. For the sake of this momentous occasion, she is behaving as reservedly as she can, though she often glances at you with gratitude. Father steps forward solemnly and makes a speech as the family watches in profound silence. You could take a nap with how relieved you feel. Bro, I'm glad to hear it.
Come closer, Gloria, and become a branch of the Brante family tree.
Gloria kneels humbly before the man she has called Sir Robert all her life. He holds his hand in front of her face as the ceremony demands.
From this day forth, you shall be a full member of this family. Your fate now bound with ours. Wear your name with honor, and may the Brante family prosper with you.
Gloria leaves a filial kiss on the fingers of his outstretched hands.
Now rise, Gloria Brante.
Slowly, gracefully, confidently, Gloria rises to her feet. For the first time since childhood, she looks and seems like your older sister. With a smile, Father at last embraces his adopted daughter as a parent. Gloria warmly responds to his embrace, and then hurries to you. Lucius, we're legally brother and sister now. I owe it all to you. I swear I'll never forget what you've done for me. I promise I'll be more careful from now on. I'll only do what's best for the family whose name I bear. Nice. You answer her without hesitation. Gloria has always been your family. Aww. All you did was make it official. Your sister squeezes your hand in excitement. This is her day, the day she has been waiting for all her life. Loud, thudding steps echo in the foyer. The doors swing open. Stefan stands on the doorstep. Your elder brother, now haggard-looking and covered in the dust of the road, casts a tired gaze over the faces of the family gathered around the fireplace. So, it seems I've arrived at the very moment of triumph. Would you look at that? Already celebrating the day the Brante family lost its honor, are you? Gloria stands between you and him, brave and confident, hands on her hips. She has no reason to be afraid of Stefan's fury now. We are celebrating the fact that no member of this family can now toss another member out on the street. Stefan allows himself a bitter chuckle. Gloria, how typical of you. You've cut off your nose to spite your face. And my brother Lucius is just the same. You've all robbed our bloodline of our noble future. You've ruined everything Sir Gregor Brante paid for in sweat and blood. If it weren't for him, we would have nothing. Stefan's face grows crimson as he says these words. It takes him a moment, albeit a brief one, to compose himself and continue. But what's done is done. Our honor is already lost. From now on, I will have no further connection to your family. I'm leaving for the capital. Nothing will ever make me visit this home again. I suppose it's time for my farewells then.
Stefan, wait. Don't be ridiculous. You're still my eldest son and heir.
And what, pray tell, am I to inherit, father? You robbed us of all of our hereditary title right when it was within our grasp. But I don't blame you. You're just a victim of my brother's schemes. Or do you disagree, Lucius?
Stefan delivers his furious tirade from the doorway, one step from leaving. What will you tell Stefan before he departs forever?
I wish I could, but he hates me. He hates me.
Man. Coldly, you snap back at Stefan that if a title was all your brother ever wanted from this family, then he didn't deserve to bear the family name. All Stefan has brought to the Brante family is strife, animosity, and scorn. For the sake of his ambition, he was ready and willing to sacrifice anything, anyone, all under the pretense of protecting his family. Good riddance. There's no place for him here. I mean, like, I don't entirely disagree with most of that, but still, I don't like seeing him leave like that. Stefan meets your lengthy speech with a surprising calm. When you are done, a bitter grin appears on his face once again. You will never understand what it means to be a nobleman, Lucius, but you are right about one thing. This is no longer my concern. It's high time I did something for myself. I'm still the son of Amalia Elborn. Should I ask my uncle Sir Elborn to grant me his family name, he will not refuse me. I shall forge a new fate for myself, one without any of you in it. Stefan studies each of you, as though trying his best to remember this moment forever. His face reflects a fleeting moment of regret, but it is quickly replaced by decisiveness. I cannot reject this blood tide. It flows in my veins now, but I can reject all of you. Sir Robert Brante, you are no longer my father or my patriarch. Lucius, Nathan, you are my brothers no more, and I will make sure everyone knows it. Stefan removes a finger bearing the family seal from his finger. He removes a ring bearing the family seal from his finger and hurls it into the roaring fireplace. Then he glances at each of you one last time before turning away and walking briskly outside. A moment later, you hear hooves clattering against cobblestones, growing quieter as they recede into the distance. And then, a long silence marred only by the crackling of the fireplace. Father collapses into a chair, overcome with grief.
My eldest son has rejected our family. Ye gods, what did I do to anger you so?
Gloria steps carefully toward her foster father. Her hand comes to rest on his shoulder. He puts it to his face as the tears begin to flow.
I hoped Stefan would come to accept our decision, but a hereditary title means more to him than our family's happiness. We won't make the same mistake he did. We will weather the scorn of the noble families with dignity. We will remain united in this home, no matter what.
Yes, Father, that we will. Your family does their best to console each other, but the celebration is ruined. Eventually you go to your room to sleep, but a flood of memories keeps slumber at bay. You remember Stefan leading you by the hand through the yard. You remember sitting at the big table on the porch, poking each other in the arm. You remember marching through the streets of Anazat at night, looking for Gloria. And now Stefan has left his family home in Anazat, never to return. This is the last you will ever hear of the man who used to be your elder brother. Severed all ties, damn. Ooh, our reputation dropped. Holy shit. I have now become the heir. I mean, that's something. Yep, she became a full-fledged Brante. I mean, I hope to hear from him sometime. He'll probably hate me when I hear from him again, but I do hope I hear what happens to him. Tomas's wedding? Oh. This is a day you remember well. It began with a loud, impatient knock at the door. You are surprised to see Tomas paying a visit to your home. There's a joy on his face as your old friend shakes your hand. Brante, it's been a while since I saw you last. I just got back to the city.
I visited my folks and then ran straight here. Otten finally stopped hounding me. I sure hope that whole mess is over for good. You invite your friend in, but he gestures for you to wait, a sly smile on his face. I'm in a hurry right now, buddy. So much to do, so little time. I'll explain. I just got back from Solmina. There was this girl in the village, a shopkeeper named Mir. She gave me shelter, and I ended up falling head over heels in love with her. You congratulate your friend and pat him on the shoulder with joy. He laughs happily. My poor ma and pa, all their life they'd hoped I'd marry a noblewoman. I used to hope for that too when I was young, but now I know some things matter more than noble titles. Mir's about to be my wife. You offer Tomas words of congratulation, but he suddenly grows serious. Otten's left me alone, but Mir and I will be better off far away from Anizot. I wasn't happy serving in the Legion anyway. I thought the nobleman's lot would set me free from suffering and do the same for my descendants. But it just ain't that simple. I was less free than ever. I'll be better off as a commoner again, earning my living by the sweat of my brow. A farmstead might not be an estate, but the high and mighty won't ever set their sights on me again. I'll live my life in peace, just like I've wanted. I've got one last request for you, though, Lucius. You've done so much for me. I'd be honored if you'd be a witness to my wedding vows before the twins. Perform yourself. Oh, if I were a priest, I see. Absolutely, man. Your hand comes to rest on Tomas's shoulders. It would be an honor and privilege for you to be a witness at your friend's wedding. Tomas glows with joy. Wonderful. You've no idea how much this means to me, Lucius. I gotta go get ready. Several days later, you follow your childhood friend to a smallish temple nestled on the edge of the Brass District. He's wearing a plain white shirt. Needless luxuries are forbidden at the austere wedding ritual. You are both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired young woman, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Mir, meet Lucius Brante, my best friend ever since we were lads. He'll bear witness to our oaths before the twins. The bride greets you with a humble bow. The three of you step inside the temple. You close the doors behind you. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. An amiable aged priest by the name of Ignatius Aventini meets you inside. Tomas and Mir kneel before the throne. O twins, elder and younger, behold these two as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. Yes, Emmy, yes. The candle flames dance and quiver. You hear a strange murmur in the temple. The darkness beneath the vault of the temple's ceiling swirls into two colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them, awestruck. Tomas, dost thou swear thy loyalty to this divine union? I do. The bride assents to the same query. I wish I could get a look at her, but that's fine. Your turn is next. You stand over the kneeling bride and groom and speak their names as the twins watch over you. Thomas Guerrero and Mir of Solmina. One of the colossal shades leans over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts into a beacon of blinding light that illuminates the temple from within. Tomas and Mir look into each other's eyes in amazement. From this moment forth, they are bound to each other by divine law, and divine love fills their hearts. In your sight of the twins, Tomas Guerrero and Mir of Solmina are now man and wife, as Lucius Brante bears witness. The stern, solemn ceremony has ended. It is time to celebrate. A humble but happy feast is to be held in the bride's village. As day gives way to night, you and Tomas leave the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. Your old friend looks off into the distance, hopeful. Yeah, remember how we fought in that yard over our little brothers? Look how much has happened since then. Both of you laugh as you recall the beginning of your friendship. I'll treasure those memories forever, I will. And you can be sure that my firstborn son's name will be Lucius. Thomas chuckles, pondering. You and I, we grew up on the same street, but look how different we turned out. You have a say in other people's fates, Brante. Your name will surely be remembered. But me, I'm still a humble nobody. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I used to be so sure a man could never start over with a clean slate, but I guess I was wrong. I'll never forget you, Lucius Brante, and I'll never forget everything you've done for me. A tear runs down your friend's cheek. For the last time, Tomas embraces you. Tomorrow he will leave Anazat forever. Will you ever meet again? Nobody knows. Well, I'm glad Tomas is happy. Repentance. Okay. The last few months have been marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brante estate. Your only concern these days is the price you have had to pay for this peace. Today you come home, wrung dry after a day of work and worry. Everyone is sound asleep. You are making your way to your bedroom when you hear a suspicious noise coming from Father's study. It is too late for Father to be working. You go to the door of the study, trying to tread softly, and turn the knob. The room is brightly lit by the moon. You recognize your brother's clumsy silhouette above Father's desk in the moonlight. Nathan hears you come in and leaps to the side in fear. You see something glinting in his hands. Father's dagger. Oh, Lucius, it's you. Shush, I just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry, I know holding a weapon is against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's for me, actually. I just have to go back to the twins. Your younger brother clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. You try to remain still. Nathan wants to take one of his own lives, but why? I'm not even sure how to say it, brother. I just can't find a place in this world. I'm always an outsider, always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I can't stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their great plan? But I've only made things worse. I meddled with the Marknian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in vice, but I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy, they gave me all sorts of answers, but none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me now. I've got to go see the twins myself and ask them. I know I'm an affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I'll repent. I'll pray for their forgiveness. But the twins never forgive, you tell Nathan softly. They never have and they never will. You will be judged in the hereafter for every false step you take. Your younger brother sighs heavily. I know. Mother taught us that all our lives, but I still have to try. There's no other way. One of my lives isn't too big a price if it works. I can't find any use for them anyway. See you soon, brother. Hope I'll be different when I come back. A cloud passes over the moon. Father's study grows dark, illuminated only by the shining light of the distant pillar. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger, aiming it at his own heart. I gotta protect him. Can't afford to lose that many people that quickly. You slowly approach your younger brother. His shaking hands violently squeeze the hilt of the dagger, but your soulful voice has a soothing effect on him. Nathan has no reason to hurry, you assure him. He will meet the twins when his time comes. Trying to draw the twins' attention is an act of grave insolence, you tell him. The twins are always watching. They know everything they need to know. If they have anything Nathan needs to hear, he will hear it when the time is right. Nathan hesitates, but you know your brother well enough to sway him. He lowers the dagger without protest. You take the sharp steel from your brother's hands and put it back where it belongs. Father will never know of this midnight intrusion into his study. You're right, Lucius. You're always right. Who am I compared to the twins? I can't even get anything out of a regular person. But how? How am I supposed to live in this silence? You try to advise your brother on this, but he responds to your words with broody mutterings. So I'm beneath even the lowly lot, it seems. I should just accept it and suffer, but I can't, despite everything Mother taught me. There are no answers out there for me. Consumed by despair, fuck. After that night, Nathan throws all caution to the wind. He spends every day and night in dank taverns, surrounded by suspicious characters. His pitiful existence is devoid of all meaning. Your only consolation is that one of your younger brother's lives has been spared. Maybe I should have let him do it, shit. I don't know. That's a questionable outcome. Fuck, I am really running out of time to get this justice up. For over a year now, Anazat has been steadily simmering with unrest, like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder, demanding new freedoms and protection under the law. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The noble gentry insisted that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their lives, for their ancient privilege. Wait, what? They're ready to fight for their ancient privilege, sword in hand. In spite of this enormous pressure, Overseer Gaius Tempest remains highly reluctant to allow any bloodshed. But the common people are already too desperate. Even the age-old fear of the nobility's might is barely enough to keep them in check. More and more people are rejecting the lots and converting to the new faith, not to mention other, stranger, more esoteric teachings and beliefs. New secret societies and clandestine gatherings appear every day. Printed pamphlets litter the streets. Yet no one is rushing to subdue the citizens or punish the city. For now. Father Leonard has transformed the Temple of the Silver Tree into a new believer stronghold. He is no longer afraid to break the ban on preaching the new faith. His sermons now openly challenge the old faith. I mean, like, I kind of like the new faith, but that's not really what I'm trying to do right now. It seems the Church of the Twins is unable to recognize its great mistake. The lots must be abandoned as relics of the past. The Twins granted everyone the freedom to choose their own path in this world, and I will not stop until this freedom is recognized throughout the Empire. The next Patriarch of Magra must be chosen by the parish, not the clergy. This is the will of the divines, and it must be ours as well. Okay. Leonard intends to amend the old order of the Church and become Patriarch. His opponents, however, are beset by internal struggle and strife. The Inquisition is fighting a myriad of heresies, more of which appear every day. Not even the highest ranks of the faith are free from suspicion. The new faith, meanwhile, is steadily growing in numbers. People no longer fear being damned to the foot of the pillar for rejecting the divine design. The streets are restless and dangerous. Minds and souls are beset by confusion. The authorities argue and bicker among themselves. Conspiracies plague the city. Time marches on and the change is coming. It cannot be stopped. Can you find a way to guide it on the right direction? The weight of a new age rests upon your shoulders. But why? I don't have any influence over the church. Oh, we got more family stuff. For over a year now, Anazat has been slowly simmering with unrest. The old feud between the estates, between the old faith and the new, between the law of the Empire and noble traditions. Tensions are at an all-time high, waiting for the slightest spark to catch fire and burn. Even your family's affairs have been affected by the growing unrest. It is during these troubling times that the future of your family will be decided. Father shakes you awake early in the morning. No one has influence over the church, isn't that the truth? I think if I went like, I could go like, I could have, I've said this before, I could have been a commoner, a priest, or nobleman. I think if I'd gone priest, I could have had much more influence. Anyway, he's excited, clutching a letter bearing the imperial seal of the Tempest dynasty. Oh boy.
Wake up, son. Come to the sitting room. A letter has come from Overseer Gaius Tempest.
He gingerly breaks the seal and unfolds the missive. It's not going to be good. To the Honorable Brante family, I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, Overseer of the province of Magra, have given due consideration to your petition to have your bloodline ennobled by the sword. You are expected in 1 week at the castle Anari, as are all petitioners for the sword, where you shall hear my decision firsthand. After finishing the letter, Father turns to you. He looks fatigued.
Well, son, it's time for us to be honest with each other about our family. What do you have to say about this? Where do we, the Brantes, stand after so many years? What hopes do we have for the future of this family?
Not much. I'm sorry? I am sorry? The past 7 years have been marked by many life-changing events. The rare joys, the frequent fights, the arguments, the attempts at peace, the losses. Sometimes you have managed to change their minds, and sometimes you have not, but your decisions have made you realize what matters most to you. The future of the Brante family must be decided here, and I mean, like, come on! I just needed one unity point? Fuck! Damn. Damn it, man. That's all I can do. You coldly point out that the family's chance for a hereditary title is long gone, and the family itself, why, it all but disintegrated years ago. You failed to quell the strife at home. You could not snuff the coals of enmity that slowly turned your family into disjointed clumps of ash. All attempts to put the family's affairs in order have led to naught. And now, it is time to admit that the Brante family is no more. There's deep pain in Father's eyes as he meets your gaze, but he does not argue. Which is why, you continue, it would only be reasonable to sever what remains of your family ties. It is for your own good. You've all been strangers for a long time. You may live under the same roof, but you are no family. It is time to end these frantic attempts to fix that which is already beyond repair. Nothing good will come of it. Jesus, man. Father is silent. A moment passes before he speaks.
As much as it saddens me to say this, you're right, son. We failed. I failed as the family patriarch, and I failed my lot. I was chasing after a lofty position and neglected all the troubles in our family. I tried to please everyone, and I let everyone down. All I can say is that your grandfather was right about everything.
You put your hand on Father's shoulder. It is not his fault alone, you tell him. All of you made mistakes. You, too, bear a sizable share of the blame.
But I am the patriarch, no matter what. I am responsible for this family. What a disgrace, what an embarrassment I am.
Father hides his face in his hands. It takes him a while to stifle his silent sobs and muster enough strength to continue.
But enough weakness. It is time to accept the inevitable. The family is gone. We must all seek our own fortunes. I will quit my post at the prefecture and leave Anazad. Why? The city has grown far too unsettled as of late. But if any of you ever want to visit my home, my door will be open to you.
I would love to. You leave Father alone with his grief in the sitting room. There's nothing you can do to help him now. You begin to pack your things. It is time to move out of the house that stopped being your home long ago. You will rent a lodging for now, and then you will see what comes next. A carriage awaits you at the gate. You take one last look at your parents' house, the place that was your home and shelter for so many years. Your childhood games in the garden, your loud, happy dinners, your quiet conversations on the porch, the warm embrace of your family. It is time to leave it all behind. That sucks. You offer your family no farewells as you depart. They are no longer a part of your life. From this day forward, you must fend for yourself. Fuck, man. Brante family is no more. Shit dicks. This is a sad fucking stream of this game. Oh god. Where is this going? Oh god, no! All of Anazad has been rocked by a gunpowder explosion. Its victims were Legion officers in charge of a punitive battalion. For some years now, they have been using force to collect the Archduke's tax from villages that refused to pay. Common folk remember their cruelty too well. Now the tables have turned. A tavern called the Three Failerais, the favorite drinking hole of the Legion officers, was blown up by a huge charge of gunpowder. Everyone in the tavern was killed. A number of people living in nearby homes were also injured. The reborn officers reported that they were blown up by an ordinary lowborn girl. Before lowering her torch to the fuse, the girl cried out that now the nobles will pay for their crimes with their lives. The powder will make us all equals. Those were her last words. The Legion has been brought to combat readiness. Commander Otten plans to punish the criminal's entire home district. Holy fuck. But the nobles of Anazad are nervous. No military training, no armor can protect them from a sudden gunpowder explosion. The city remembers that you were the one who made gunpowder available for silver mining. But now barrels of gunpowder are somehow being delivered to rebels rather than the mines. Never before have the lowborn had such a dangerous weapon at their disposal. Oh no!
I don't like where this is going. You walk down the cold steps of the prefecture dungeon. The damp air makes it hard to breathe. You were urgently summoned here after the explosion at the Three Phalerus. Yes. The gendarmes have captured the perpetrator, a low-born girl. Soon people from the secret chancellery will be here. Their institution handles riots and crimes against imperial authority. The worst of it is that the gunpowder is involved, and you are the one who's come to Mayor Egmont's entreaties and authorized the use of gunpowder in the silver mines. You need to get to the bottom of this before the secret chancellery comes after you. Behind the bars of the cell, you see Alida Siren, an unremarkable girl just like any from the brass district. She glances up at you suspiciously from under her long bangs and chuckles. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling that Monka S right now, Emmy. Yeah, I blew him up. I'm not gonna deny it. Let alone beg for mercy. I know nobles haven't got any anyway. My sister taught me that when she was hanged for making a peaceful speech in the capital. You send the gendarmes away. You need to interrogate the culprit one-on-one. Having made sure you are alone, you ask Alida where she got the gunpowder. She smirks, looking at you defiantly. This is just the beginning. We're the last straw. We're gonna destroy the old order, reduce it to nothing. We've got weapons, we've got gunpowder, we aren't helpless anymore. You are interrupted by loud footsteps down the hall, accompanied by angry shouts. You have to hold your tongue. The gendarmes push another prisoner into the adjacent cell. Your heart skips a beat when you recognize him. Do you know who I am? I own half the mines in Magra. Judge Brante, your gendarmes dragged me here by force. Why didn't you just summon me? I have come of my own free will. The gendarmes unceremoniously lock the industrialist in the cell and report to you. This commoner is suspected of transferring gunpowder to the rebels. You once again command the gendarmes to leave you alone with the conspirators. They lock the cells securely before leaving. You, Egmont, and the rebel Alida are alone in the cold semi-darkness. Egmont clutches the bars anxiously. Welcome back, Frame. How was work meeting? Now I see. I'm accused of orchestrating the explosion at the Three Phalerus. Come closer, Brante. Your life is in as much peril as mine. You take a step forward, approaching the bars. You feel the imprisoned industrialist's heavy breath on your face. I'll cut right to the chase, Brante. Yes, with your help, we put the gunpowder to good use. We used it for a great cause, fighting for the rights of the lowborn. I armed the soldiers of the last straw, and I'm forming my own militia. The gunpowder finally forced the nobles to take us seriously. But I'm not a madman, and I'm not a butcher. The explosion in the tavern was just a way to demonstrate what we're capable of in case the Empire doesn't make any concessions. We're no longer just rabble that can be ordered about, and we achieved that in no small part thanks to your help, Judge Brante. Now the nobles will see that if they don't give us rights, we'll have to take them by force. You look at the wealthy commoner in consternation. So you have unwittingly become part of his conspiracy? Yes, I concealed some parts of my plan from you, but it was even safer for you this way. You continued your work as a judge and your fight for justice while we did our part. I just wish the last straw had worked a little more cleanly. You demand that Egmont tell you the nature of his connection to the last straw. We made an alliance. The last straw are relentless fighters, like this young lady here. And it's wonderful that there are people who are willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. Sadly, sometimes they leave too many clues behind. Our cause is just! Egmont casts a disapproving sidelong glance at the rebel girl. You haven't heard... it's Mayor, the name. Yeah, Mayor is a name. He is not a mayor, yeah. You haven't heard consternation since SAT vocab practice. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I see it in books occasionally, but it's not common for sure. Then he leans in even closer and continues quietly. But explosions and bloodshed aren't my goal. I'm going to make Anazat the first city in the Empire where all citizens have equal rights. No matter what estate they're born to, or what lot they have. Isn't that what you've been struggling to achieve all along, Brante? Yeah, but I kinda don't like your method here, bud. Do you think this is just some fantasy? We're one step away from taking power in the city and imposing our conditions on the Overseer and the Archduke. Time is running out. Soon the secret chancellery will take us, and then our cause is doomed. Unfortunately, you'll go down with us, my friend. We're in this together, since you gave us the gunpowder. Let's not let that happen. Not now, not when we're so close to sparking a genuine uprising. You don't betray your emotions to Egmont. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Emmy.
Your face is thoroughly concealed by the shadows. Right there. Let us both out of the cage, me and the girl from the last straw. Help us escape. I'll make sure you're clear of any suspicion, and it'll seem like we broke out on our own. The secret chancellery will be busy hunting us down, and they'll leave you alone. Meanwhile, we'll finish our preparations and strike first. You've already picked a side, Lucius Brante. Now's not the time to change it. Help me escape, and you'll be one of the heroes of the uprising, but if you betray me, you'll be one of its first victims. Hurry! Yeah, I'm gonna keep him in. Yeah, let's do that. I don't really want to support terrorism. Finally, you let Egmont see your face in the semi-darkness. You've had a sneer on your lips for quite some time. No, you are not going to go down because of Egmont's deception. You have your own plans in that regard. It's too late. You can't stop it, Brante, you fool. The uprising will make mincemeat of you if you don't come to your senses. History will be on our side. Not listening to him, you turn around and swiftly go upstairs. Egmont's threats die out in the darkness. Doing your best to look composed, you walk up the stairs and announce that the interrogation is over. It is time to hand the prisoners over to the secret chancellery. Afterwards, you lock yourself in your office and go through all your papers in search of any evidence that could link you to Egmont. Good to see you, Cassie. Welcome in. I won't be live for too much longer, but it's always a pleasure. You burn all proof of your involvement in the unfortunate gunpowder affair, but this isn't all. You will have to go to the other Imperial institutions as well. Hopefully your connections will be enough to sever any threads leading back to you. You hear a knock at the door. A familiar figure with a cane treads heavily into your office. Philippe Elfero, the secret chancellery advisor, carefully examines you. You again, Sir Brante. I've just interrogated the captured insurgents. You break into a cold sweat, PPS, and do your best to maintain a calm facade. Elfero looms over your desk, obstructing the light. So, there is no doubt that the explosion was the handiwork not only of the last straw, but also of Mayor Egmont, whom you know well. I was particularly curious to find out who was responsible for authorizing the use of gunpowder in his mines. He named you. The advisor pauses and observes you. You look back at Sir Philippe dispassionately. The storm that is raging inside you must be contained. Suddenly, Philippe beams at you and shrugs. But you know, I'd never take a commoner's word over that of a nobleman. And you are a true nobleman, aren't you, Brante? You lower your head modestly. Yeah, sleep is important. Do what you gotta do, Cassie. I mean, I still stream in evenings as well. And schedule's gonna drastically change next week anyway. So I thought. The noble lot is not an easy one. Even the best of us make mistakes sometimes. But this is where a noble education comes into play. We nobles know how to fix our mistakes. You explained gravely that you had no idea that allowing the use of gunpowder in the mines would lead to this. You only wanted to ensure the prosperity of the province. I have no doubt about that. That's why you're going to do me a favor, for the sake of the province. Over the last few years, you've worked hard to satisfy the claims and pleas of the commoners, but you know how many insurgents could have been among them? The secret chancellery will review these cases. I hope you do not mind if I take over your office for a while. You won't need it for the time being. Well, this quite a threat. By my authority, I hereby declare a state of emergency in the prefecture. It will remain in effect until we have dealt with the threat of an uprising. You may go now. Take a break, and don't get involved. We'll call for you when we need you again. Elfero installs himself in your chair and promptly begins going through your papers. He is no longer paying attention to you. You have no choice. You vacate your own office. Back home, you collapse into bed and sleep for a long time. Mayor Egmont is hanged before a huge crowd. The execution of a prominent advocate for commoners' rights infuriates them, but they are too frightened to take up arms. In addition, many say that Egmont only desired more power and profit for himself, not protection for the poor. Egmont's body is left hanging in the square in front of City Hall for a long time, as a reminder of the fate awaiting anyone who attempts to defy the Imperial Order. You spend the next month at home. The explosion allowed the secret chancellery to obtain special authority for the purpose of defeating the rebels. The gates of Anazat are locked. Citizens are commanded not to leave their homes without a good reason. The gendarmes, transferred temporarily under the command of the Secret Chancellery, prowl the city, searching houses and arresting suspicious individuals. The people they arrest usually disappear without a trace. Finally, a month later, the Secret Chancellery declares that the threat of the rebellion has been eliminated. The gendarmes return to Elborn's command. For the first time in a long while, you go to the prefecture. That's fine, he's dead. Your office has hardly changed, although it is clear it has been used daily. The inkwell is all but empty. A number of documents concerning your old cases has vanished from the drawers. You see small spots of dried blood on the carpet. What? Damn it. Damn it. I just need one point of justice, man. I'm like on that precipice so much. The carriage takes you further down the city's narrow streets. They are filled with noble carriages and commoners hurrying about their business, but the driver skillfully avoids them all. You watch the city uneasily from behind the carriage doors. The past few months have been so tense and challenging, they felt like a single unbearable moment. You had to face one ordeal after another, and Otten's case sometimes fell by the wayside. But you have no doubt that the outcome of this case will determine your fate. Your previous encounters with the haughty commander have assured you of that. It's time to strike Otten down. The time to strike Otten down is coming now. Coming soon. Right now you need to make your final preparations. Your gut tells you that time is running out. Either you seize the initiative or Otten will destroy you himself. But what should you focus on at this critical juncture? You consider your options. Okay, this would up my career. This seems like what I need to do, so I'm gonna do this speech. There's no turning back now. It is time to show the arrogant Arknian that you no longer fear his wrath. The common people will support you. You tell the driver to take you to Gold Square. The square in front of the Chancellery is as crowded as ever, teeming with people of all estates and ranks. Once in the square, you ascend a raised platform and address the crowd as loudly as you can. At first, the people pay you no heed and merely hurry along, but as your speech continues, every pair of eyes soon turns to you. Excited voices fill the square. Who's that? It's Judge Brante! You begin your accusatory speech. The people of Anazat have a right to know about Dorius Otten's crimes. His duty as a military commander is to preserve peace in the province, but he behaves like a lawless villain, murdering his own soldiers left and right. His duty as a high-born noble is to rule over his subjects wisely, but instead he brings dishonor to all of Magra. The mob responds with murmurs, confused at first. Is this an act of defiance by a common judge? Is a human really speaking out against one of the most powerful Arknians in the province? Many flee the square in terror as soon as they realize what you are saying, hoping to stay out of harm's way. But you also catch a few awkward shouts of support from among the din. Down with the tyrant! We won't stand for it! You latch onto those words. Yes, down with Otten. You will put an end to his crimes, but you cannot do it all by yourself. If the citizens of Anazat want justice, if they want to defend their rights, they have to be brave and stand their ground against the lawless commander when the time comes. Any citizen of Anazat who is fed up with noble tyranny must rally to your cause. Ecstatic shouts fill the square. The people deserve rights! Down with Otten! We're with you, Judge. Yes! Yes! God! Finally! I'm sorry, I'm way too excited. You descend the platform triumphant. Many voices of support follow you out of the square. When the time comes to clash with Otten, the people will support you. But do the common folk have what it takes to openly defy the age-old rule of an Arknian? Oh yeah, baby, here we go. The hour has come. I'm gonna go a little over just to, like, fucking sentence Otten. I want to see that happen this stream. You stand at the window of your office and watch the living streets below, exhausted. For over a year, Anazat has been steadily simmering with unrest, like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. I feel like it said that earlier. The endless feud between the Archduke and the Overseer, the first trials against nobles, insurgencies flaring up all across the Empire. Grim, heavy, dark red storm clouds now hang in the sky above Anazat. Let me just make sure I'm gonna be good. Yep. I have met all the conditions. We be good. We be good. Yep. Okay, let's do it. Endless feud between the Archduke and the Overseer. The first... Oh, I already read that. Yeah, I already read all of that. Preachers of the new faith fill the streets, urging the people to reject their lots. Hold on. The abbot of the temple at the Silver Tree, Father Leonard, has turned the city's most ancient church into a new believer stronghold. Commoners flock to the... Oh, hey, Riley. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder and bolder as they demand new freedoms and protection under the law. Commoners have begun forming armed militias. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The nobles of the sword demand that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their ancient privileges, sword in hand. Didn't we read that too? It's weird. It's like repeating itself. You cast a glance back at your desk, still covered with piles of paperwork for Otten's case. You've been working on it for over 2 years now. This case will have to reach a conclusion someday. But when? Will you be able to free yourself from the mortal peril into which it has drawn you? Oh boy. Your thoughts are interrupted by heavy footsteps and clacking hooves. The square in front of the prefecture quickly clears as workers and merchants do their best to flee. A legion battalion is advancing on the prefecture. It is led by Dorius Otten, on horseback and in full armor. He rides right up to the steps. The square resounds with his commanding voice. I am Dorius Otten, High Commander of this province, and I have come to demand justice. I have proof that a judge named Lucius Brante has been collecting slander for years, seeking to tarnish the Otten name. I've already warned this judge, and I will not stand idly by in the face of an insult. To accuse me is to undermine the rule of the Archnians, our noble traditions, and the sacred order of the Empire itself. I demand that a stop be put to this campaign of defamation. God, I keep trying to say Lucius Brante. I expect Judge Brante to burn his so-called case right now. Until that happens, my battalion is under orders to treat all those who serve at the prefecture as traitors to the crown. No one will leave this building until I see these vile accusations against an Archnian dynasty burned to ash. Elborn comes rushing into your office. He is pale as a ghost, but trying his hardest to remain composed. Lucius, Otten caught us off guard. I knew we should have begun this trial much sooner. He has the upper hand now. No one will come to our aid. We must give Otten our reply. It's all up to you now, Sir Brante. This is it. The moment of truth. How will you respond to Otten's ultimatum? It's happening. Without saying a word, you stare out the window again. The sky is dark and overcast, thunder echoing in the distance. The legion of soldiers stands still, awaiting new orders. Otten's horse is right by the stairs as he awaits your reply. The past several years flash before your eyes. Cases and verdicts, threats and promises, decisions and deeds. Where have they led you? Your career, your province? How will you approach the task of rebuffing one of the mightiest Archnians in the province? It will all be decided now. It's time, buddy! It's time! You descend the stairs and walk to the door of the prefecture, ready to meet Otten face to face. You have worked hard to defend the rule of law within the province, and your efforts have borne fruit. Commoners, nobles, even Archnians, all are now equal before the law. It is thanks to you that this change has taken root, both in and out of the court. You've had to sacrifice your own career and your family's reputation. You have been intimidated and shunned by your peers. But now, you will see this through to the very end. Otten is not just any noble Archnian. He is the High Commander of the province, the right hand of Archduke Melanidas. But he will stand trial nonetheless. Your evidence may be lacking, but when the people hear of it, the court will have no choice but to find him guilty. And you have the support of Prefect Elborn, who is ready to repay your loyalty. You approach Otten and face him. He dismounts his horse, but, clad in full suit of ancient armor, the Archnian is still a head taller than you. Here you are at last, Brante. You obeyed me and came out. A wise choice. But where are all the papers you are to burn? You stare down the High Commander and tell him that his case awaits him in the court of law, to which he has been summoned. You hereby accuse Dorius Otten of murdering 19 servants of the Empire. The trial will begin 3 days hence, and is open to all citizens of Anazat. You vile wretch! How dare you give our orders to an Archnean? Or do you want to make me round up the tally and make it 20? You do not even flinch at his words. Behind you, the pillars of the prefecture, the stronghold of law and justice, reach up for the sky. You notice people flocking to the square, taking heed of your voice. "Have no fear, Judge Brante," they shout. "Protect the judge!" The commoners form a living wall between you and the furious Archnean warrior. "Battalion, prepare for battle. Disperse the mob." But the Legion soldiers behind Otten are already faltering. The Legionnaires no longer wish to tolerate the murder of their brothers in arms. The battalion captain stares at Otten, his eyes like daggers. "Sheathe your swords," he commands his men. "About face! To the barracks! March!" Abandoned, the Archnean looks around in confusion, alone and armor-clad, like a painting of old brought to life. "Traitors, you dare call yourselves nobles? You will all pay for this, every last one of you, as will you, Brante, your low-born cronies and your foul court." Otten leaps onto the saddle and flees the square, booed by the resentful crowd. You let out a loud sigh. Only now do you realize how incredibly tense you felt. Fair. Elborn's hand comes to rest on your shoulder. "We've won, Lucius. Otten has already lost, whether he knows it or not. Prepare for the trial, Brante." The sky over Anazat splits apart, showering the dust-covered streets with long-awaited rain. Oh boy, oh boy! The day of the trial has come. The large prefecture courtroom is overcrowded. The gentry rarely, if ever, visit this place, to say nothing of the Archnean dynasties. But this is an unprecedented occasion. The man about to stand trial is an Archnean, one born to rule, Dorius of the Otten dynasty, the High Commander of Magra, the Archduke's second in command. All of the elite provincial aristocracy is here today to show their support for Otten. You see Magistrate Elverman among them, as well as many other nobles you have angered as a judge. The noblemen are restless, clutching uneasily at the hilts of their swords. Prefect Elborn presides over the trial. Gaius Tempest occupies the seat of honor next to him. The overseer's face remains coldly indifferent. Your time has come. You walk to the podium, step after step, the weight of their gazes on your back. Thanks to your efforts, commoners and nobles must now face trial equally. Those born to rule have no choice but to submit to the justice system. Step by step, the future depends on what you are about to say. You begin the opening statement for the prosecution. First, you say that Sir Dorius Otten, a high-born noble, has been found in violation of the Emperor's ban on dueling, with ample evidence to that effect. Enough of this! I've already wasted far too much time on this pathetic trial. So you want my money, eh, Judge? Very well, I'll pay all the fines. The Otten bloodline can afford them and more. But I was born into my lot, and that lot is to wage war and kill. Thus do I serve the divine design, and no once low-born human is going to teach me how to live by my lot. In the sight of Gaius Tempest, a fellow nobleman born to rule, I demand an end to this disgraceful farce. May no Archnean ever be summoned again to this filthy courtroom fit for peasants and petty merchants. The stalls grow silent. All eyes turn to the overseer. Gaius Tempest winces and knits his brow. Oh man, this dude... I'm putting Mr. Tempest through so much shit. He casts a glance over the nobles gathered in the courtroom and then nods for Elborn to continue. In one sense, Sir Otten, you are correct. It truly is disgraceful to see an Archnean stoop so low that he must be brought before the court. The trial will continue. Sir Brante, please conclude your opening statement. You move on to the core of your accusation, speaking with such force that it shakes the stalls. Otten has not merely violated the dueling ban, he is taking the lives of at least 19 of his subordinates, all loyal servants of the Emperor. I gotta show you all the dog being cute. Look at Rocky licking rolls. This is murder. It is an act of sabotage against the Legion. It is treason against the Emperor himself. You speak these last words right in Otten's face. All the grumbling voices from the stalls immediately grow quiet. The High Commander turns pale with fury. Gaius Tempest, you are an overseer. You hail from the Emperor's own bloodline. Are you going to allow this unprincipled human scum to decide an Archnean's fate? Why, this is nothing more than a bid to seize power. The very power that has flowed through our veins since the Empire was founded. Gaius Tempest rises from his seat, his calm countenance twisted with rage. The Imperial Court of Justice is that very power. Muffled gasps and quiet cries echo from the stalls. The High Commander grits his teeth and stares defiantly at Gaius Tempest. Then you are the traitor here, your grace. You are the one who betrayed the province, nay, the entire empire, by condemning us to the mercy of their humans and their lowly, dishonorable law. Archduke Melanidas is the only one who still remembers his honor as an Archnean and a noble, and justice is on his side. I say this before the entire aristocracy of Anazat. The nobles in the stalls who have come to stand with Otten recoil in terror. His supporters retreat further into the recesses of the courtroom. You are mad, Otten. Be quiet or I shall silence you permanently. Proceed with the verdict, Prefect. Elborn exchanges a meaningful glance with you and ascends to the podium. Dorius Otten, for violating the ban on dueling, manslaughter of Imperial servants, and treason against Overseer Gaius Tempest, this court hereby deprives you of your sword and sentences you to eternal exile from the province of Magra. Otten stands still, unmoving, unflinching. The gendarmes cautiously approach the Archnean to take his sword. Otten suddenly draws the blade himself and hands it to the officers of the court. Otten's sword comes to rest in your hands. The entire courtroom watches you, holding its breath. Raising your old nemesis' sword above your head, you turn to face the courtroom. I know, only exile. Oh, this is very symbolic then. Okay, I like that. You snap Otten's blade in half. The venerable old steel shatters with a ringing sound, reduced to pathetic, broken fragments. Blood trickles down your arms, but you do not notice the pain. Otten's eyes are dead and empty as he stares at you. He staggers to his feet, stumbles out the door, and walks away. His steps echo loudly in the deafening silence of the courtroom. Dorius Otten, once the High Commander of Magra, has been stripped of his sword and banished to exile. Good! Your bloodied hands still clutch the verdict. Today marks a precedent the likes of which... Today marks a precedent the likes of which the Empire has never seen. The old ways will never be the same. Thanks to you, change has been put in motion today. There's no stopping it now. Ooh, good. Excellent. It's been done. Alright, well, this seems like a perfect place to end then. Because we got, like, the final chapter tonight. I don't know what that's gonna be like. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up tonight. One more chapter, yeah. I don't quite know what's gonna happen, but we'll find out together. I am really, really gonna push to finish the game tonight as well. So... we should see the conclusion of Sir Brante's story tonight. If I have to go like over my usual time, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But yeah, I really want to finish it tonight. So yeah, sounds like I will. It does. It does very much seem like I will. But yeah, VOD viewers, I hope you're watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far, and we are almost at the end. So why not watch the next one? I'll see you guys next time.